Okay, so question was raised of like, how do magnetic stirrers work with epoxy resins? Um, so we're gonna give it a shot. I kind of staged here the thinnest epoxy resin that I have, which is Critcast. It's a 2 parts A to 1 part B resin. And I've got a little bit of isopropyl alcohol set off to the side. So when we're done stirring, if it works, we can take the little pill out and drop it in the isopropyl alcohol. Let's go ahead and we're going to use some Picasso black, just, to see if it's actually doing anything. Let's put this in the B. We'll just put in 2 drops. And let's do more. 3 it is, sure. And again, this is just to see, if it's actually mixing or not. And we're going to mix up 90 milliliters, give or take a milliliter or 2. Okay. And last one. So you can see this is pretty thin stuff. I think the mixture allows it to be this thin, the ratios anyway. So it's a little harder to work with. It's not the normal 1-to-1, but it's not, it's not impossible. It's still just a 2-to-1. You're not having to measure by weight or anything like that. Okay, so that is about right. Let's go ahead and drop this guy in. Well, let's take a look at it first. Some swirls of black in there. You can still see the difference in the densities, the layers. So let's drop this guy in. Okay. Yeah, seems to be sticking where it should be. Let's turn this down. Turn you on. Temperature doesn't matter. It's set to like 70 degrees Fahrenheit or something. Let's turn this on, see if we can't get this spinning. And I would zoom in on it for you, but my gloves probably have a bit of resin on them. Let's see if we can't pull this forward. Sorry about the sound there. And okay, so at least for the quick cast, let's really crank it here. It's definitely stirring. It's taking its time. Let's see. It's been going for about a minute. Starting to slow. This is also a relatively cheap magnetic stirrer, so who knows whether or not one of a higher quality might be any different. Now, one thing that I am noticing is with the dye, you can see it on the bottom, we're getting striations. So it's pulling it around, but it's not actually pulling it down and mixing it into the rest of the components. So we're getting there, but I probably wouldn't bother with this. I think that especially with such a liquidy resin, just a stir stick is probably fine. So let's go ahead and turn this off. so you can get a better look. So you can see the layers there. That's striation from the dye not quite mixing in. So let's go ahead and take this pill out. We'll put it in the isopropyl that we've set aside for this. And set this to the back. I will tell you that it did not introduce much air. Just the action of me doing this right now is putting in far more air. It's also much more effective in terms of mixing, but I don't know. Maybe there's something to that. Okay, this is probably mixed up enough. We got plenty of bubbles in there. So, does it work? Probably. I think so. We'll do another test after and just mix it with the mixing pill, just to see if it actually does mix enough to fully harden. But for now, I've got actual molds to make here. Well, cast to make. So I think we're done here.